After we got it back from you, we've been posting the proposed language on the website alongside, the existing
Like what we got?
bylaws.
The redlined, yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, right,
Mm-hmm.
right. So that's all we're looking for is to move on to the next step after months of contemplation.
You're here.
Do we do that now?
We just say thank you,
Yeah, it's
Then
just more,
that's, it's just a,
and then
Yeah.
it goes back to
Okay.
them.
if you guys have any questions or anything.
yeah, I'm comfortable with this, with it
Thank you.
moving, yep.
Well, then we would,
Do you have questions?
Yeah, I have questions for you, Bill. The section on the 9, the solar energy facilities, paragraph 9.1, at the very bottom, or the second paragraph down, it says the solar array facilities shall be consistent with community planning documents, including but not limited to the town's master plan, open space, and recreation plan. So I'm just trying to figure out what is the intention. If somebody wants to come and do a solar array and presents to the planning board, how does the master plan and open space and recreation plan, how does that all work together?
well, this and many other things would be best able maybe to be addressed by, or answered by everybody who's at the hearing
Okay.
with their different inputs into what it means. But I would say that all that's saying, and this is very possibly borrowed language from other approved, AG approved towns that have done that, but to me, it just reads that whatever we do is hopefully in line with the master plan on the open space. So in other words, if the open space plan says, well, we want to have this solar, or this is not for solar, or this is a ball field or something like that, then maybe that a solar facility there wouldn't be consistent with that. So it's just saying in the process of deciding where these things can be or should be, take a look at the town's overall planning documents. It doesn't say it can't be, it's clearly can be if the town was to approve it. But it's just making reference to that along,
Okay.
in the future, so. I'm sure that question and others will come up at the hearing.
Right. And I have one other regarding the USDA. It was kind of vague, but that of the prime or statewide importance per the USDA, why wouldn't the state have a say over the USDA? All right, and I'm just wondering, like,
I
what
think that's a
reference are you
designation
trying to
that,
get at from the USDA?
I believe that that's an effort, again, not just shared, not originating here, but various towns have said, all right, there's a problem, when there's a problem with a solar installation, it's often that it clears a whole lot of trees. That's one.
Right, yeah.
Or
so
it goes on pasture land, which may be okay, but this is saying ideally it's not going to go on prime farmland.
Okay.
So again, it doesn't say it can't, but it's not intended, it's not encouraged to go on prime USDA
Okay.
soil. That's a designation they have.
Okay.
So that's all.
All right.
The whole thing, as we'll talk about later, Morss, the whole thing is a balancing act between what the state allows in terms of regulation, restriction on these developments, installations. They really want to encourage them, so they say no unreasonable regulation. So what is unreasonable regulation? We've tried to come up with reasonable regulation that will pass the AG's review and give the town reasonable control over the impact of facilities like that, which, bottom line, we welcome in the right places. It's going to, it's alternative energy and it's money to the town.
Right.
But we don't want to just say, bring it on.
No, I get it. That's why I was just asking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, are we all comfortable with it going back to the planning board so we can continue their process? Okay. Very good.
We
It doesn't
can.
have to be
All
a
right.
formal one.
Okay.
Yeah, it just goes back to them.
All right.
and they carry on, and so you'll schedule your hearing, and,
Yes, hopefully, we meet tomorrow, actually,
Oh,
so.
perfect.
We saw in the box that, or we know now that you've sent to proceed, then we'll make that.
Okay, excellent. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Okay, discussion and vote on permitting checklist. That was presented to us a little while ago, and now it's been cleaned up.
Yep, so it's more of a final document at this point. It went out to all the departments that are listed on it. I met with Becky on it. I took probably 90% of their suggestions, and here it is. So with the boards, besides the one spelling error that I just noticed sitting here, if the board thinks it looks good, we can start implementing it if you'd like to vote on it tonight.
I'm good with it.
I'm fine.
It's good.
Can I have a motion?
Sure. I make a motion to approve the building application approval checklist.
With the spelling,
With the
Well,
spelling correct.
It will be amended.
With
Yeah.
the one spelling
Yeah.
correction.
thank you.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, discussion and vote to approve host community agreement draft with Hardwick Mill Greenery. That was in your packet.
Yep, so it's, if you think back, I know it's been a while, but back in December, I included in your packet the Cannabis Control Commission sample host community agreement that they've been approving. So that is essentially what this document is, with a couple yellow highlights from town council. There was one thing I did want to bring up to the board to get your authorization on, which would be on page 3. Town council's notice, this can be included for businesses that are not operational. We recommend 12 to 18 months. So section 5C compliance, if you're comfortable with that, I'm also comfortable with including either a 12 or an 18 months. I think it should be more of a short-term agreement with so much fluidity going on in the Cannabis Control Commission.
I think that's what we talked about
Yeah.
initially as well.
So I just wanted to have you guys look at it, and if there's anything, any questions or anything that you want me to take back, or if I can answer them, I will. But if you're fine with it, then we'll put it in a final draft a final document for Hardwick Mill Greenery. Of course, you'd still have to sign it, but I wanted you to at least look at a draft.
Yeah. Do we do a year or do we do 18 months?
I would give them 18 months. That's what I would recommend, just because of construction, you don't know, like he talks about the transformers and possibly having them, if he doesn't get them, stuff like that, it just
I think the
delays.
point from town council was the commission is evolving daily on what they accept and what they don't accept.
We've already changed it several times.
Yeah, they have. So, Stan?
If you don't mind, just a question. Is that posted online, that agreement?
This,
I looked for it before
No.
the meeting.
Not this one, no,
No.
because we haven't done anything with it,
Okay.
right?
If I recall, the first agreement, the town went with 1.5%, but there was a higher number that I think the state allowed, right?
No, they don't allow anything anymore.
Oh, no.
That's
So
why we have to redo it.
there's no agreement.
The state has taken that out. It's not part of any
So
of it.
unless we can really, if there's impact to the town and we generate an invoice on that impact, that's what we can bill them. But there's no 3% anymore, there's no percent anymore, there's nothing.
the state has to
Yeah,
approve it.
because in that first agreement, or the way it was originally structured, I don't think the town would have come out with much anyways, because I think the retail for that is primarily like in Shirley or somewhere. So
Yeah.
that's okay that we aren't losing
It's
anything.
not, yeah.
When you say an expense to the town, I like the idea of a limit on the time of the contract, because it kind of keeps them in a performance mode. But at some point, if they don't start doing something, aren't we losing some money somehow by taxes or?
So they have been doing stuff and they have been paying their building fees, like their
Okay.
permits, and
So we're good.
they have been, it's been a very painful, slow process. like everyone knows, COVID put kind of a halt on a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
And, I mean, we're still seeing that in construction.
so they're still intended to.
They are, yeah, and they have done work to the interior. Yeah, yeah.
I know, and you had mentioned, Bill, that I talked to the owner at one point, and they were having trouble getting transformers, but, so maybe that's part of the line.
And they dealt with the shrimp crabs.
Oh, yeah.
And they just finally got that,
Oh,
right? Or the clam
Yeah,
shrimp, whatever,
Yeah.
clam
Yeah.
shrimp, thank you.
Not quite wrapped up yet.
But it's getting there, so that was a process too.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Any questions or anything, send me an email.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure, thanks.
so yeah, 12 or 18 months, are you comfortable with 18?
I'm okay with 18. I want them to get going, and
Yeah, do something, yeah. Okay.
what they have done, they fixed the roof,
Yeah,
they fixed all the windows.
The
I mean,
windows,
it's a
yep.
much better building right now than
Yeah.
it was.
yeah, a lot. And can I have a motion?
Well, we're gonna wait and sign it at the next meeting.
Well, but are we gonna make it a final draft so that we can sign it at the
And-
next meeting?
And send it to them, because they have
Right, they
not
haven't seen it
this.
either.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we make a motion just to
And
proceed.
I move that we do that.
18 months, yeah, yeah.
I'll make a motion to add the 18 months to the Hardwick Mill Greenery host community agreement.
I'll second it.
And send it off to
Yep,
them,
for them,
okay.
yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Discussion and vote on town administrator's contractual requests. So at the last meeting, Justine brought up that her 90-day probationary period was up. And when we spoke to her initially and did our negotiations with her, she had asked for 90, and we started her at 85, but budgeted for 90. So she is looking for that additional bump in her pay. And so we said we would do a little kind of review at this meeting and discuss that pay increase. So here we are. So I had sent you all a little evaluation form. Did you look at that and review? And at the request of one of the board members, we did reach out to other, the departments in the town, other employees, and got feedback from there. So I'll start by saying that 90% of the feedback, or 95% of the feedback, was very positive, Justine. People enjoy working with you. You're very approachable. You know what you're, talking about. You've got the knowledge, backing the position. So one thing was maybe just staying on course with your role as the town administrator, as opposed to other boards and other elected officials. That was just one note there. I took the evaluation forms that you sent, and I kind of marked them up. The only one I didn't mark was attendance, because I'm not here to see when you come and go. So I'm assuming that you are here on a regular basis and showing up on time.
And then some.
So I'm not going to mark you up on that. But overall, I gave you threes, fours, and fours. So out of the 52 points you could have gotten from me, you got like 47, I think. So I'm very pleased with what you've done in the 90-day. I mean, this isn't a long time,
7
folks.
months.
It's 3 months to pretty much figure out that, why am I in Hardwick? No, joking. So we're happy she's here, and that's my input to you, and I'll open it up to the other board members, obviously, so.
I think you're doing a great job. So I have really no issues as far as that goes. And I'm happy with your work performance. I mean, I don't deal with you that often, but that's why I requested, get the department head feedback and stuff like that. So people who deal with you on an ongoing basis, we can get feedback and see how you're doing. And you're doing great. So,
You're not sick of me yet?
no, we want you to stick
No.
around.
I would also mention that I would be in favor of increasing her pay at this point, so that's just backtracking a little bit. Go ahead.
Go. Well, there have been some rocky places, but we move along, and I gave you 3s and 4s too, so I think it sounds good.
I think Chris wanted to say something too.
I'll take comment.
Thank you. No, it's part of the finance committee. We're going to be working very closely with Justine, and so far the experience has been very positive.
Good.
I think she's bringing a lot of financial management to the town. So the budget process so far has been very, very good. It's been very positive. So we're looking forward to really getting into this and coming through the full budget cycle. So appreciate the hard work, and I certainly would recommend the increase as well.
Perfect. Any other comments? Anyone want to chime in?
I just wanted to bring up one note that a little bit of research done with larger towns and administrative assistants with more experience. The norm is about 90,000, and we're a smaller town and a person with less experience. So it's just as a note that 90 seems to be a term, an amount for people with more experience in larger towns.
I didn't find that in my research, but thank you, Liz.
I'm not administrative
I
assistant either.
She's the town administrator. She's not an assistant.
Well,
So,
you
are we in favor? We want to vote on the increase?
Would you like me to make a motion?
Please.
I make a motion to increase Justine's pay by $5,000 to her existing contract.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Justine.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I've mostly enjoyed my time at Hardwick. The staff is amazing. I found all three of you just so far very approachable, and I'm really excited to be here and see what we can do and work hard, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, approval of minutes from November 25th, 2024. I just have one change.
Oh, sure.
On the vote for the auction, I actually voted no on that. I didn't abstain.
Okay.
If you can just have Sandy change that.
Yep.
Thank you. Other than that, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, motion.
All right, make a motion. Motion to approve the Hardwick board meeting from November 25th, 2024,
With that correction.
Yes.
with that correction.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, town administrator report?
So something that's not on my town administrator report, so they drained the oil tank in the Ruggles Hill,
Okay.
and it's gonna be removed on Thursday. And then Eric and I, Selectman Wilhelm and I talked about, in a couple days, then they'll do the oil testing. So that's being done.
Ongoing, good.
Yes, also too, the 15,000 that we got from the state for hydrants is gonna fix 2 of them, and the 2 that are gonna be fixed are the one on Hardwick Road and down here on Main Street. And that's gonna be done the next couple weeks. We have all the parts,
Okay.
so we're just waiting on Marty and the highway when they have
Yep.
time. Obviously with the winter, it's been a little crazy.
Good.
Another thing that's not on here, because it just happened, is we are going to receive the $50,000 from the state for improvements to this building. That was a state earmark, so I signed the contract for that today,
Perfect.
so.
Good. Excellent.
The new phone system is being installed. They were here a day last week. They're gonna be here again tomorrow. We signed a new lease with a new postage machine that was also delivered today that the town clerk installed. Panic buttons were installed in every office in town hall. Every active desk now has a working panic button. And all the old ones with all the wires and all that was taken out, and it's gone. The town clerk's office, my office, and the assessor and building inspector's office, our 3 doors have now been fixed. So that's
So
also exciting.
they don't have the big holes in them anymore, because we did that during COVID. so that people could slide papers through, so just so everyone understands. That and the panic buttons arose because of an incident that did happen here a few months ago. So just so people have an understanding why we're doing that.
So I took a one-day advanced topics and procurement class as part of my continuing education as part of my Massachusetts Chief Procurement Officer designation. So I did that. Department budget meetings have been completed. We still have our bi-weekly financial management planning meetings with the assessor, accountant, and collector. I met with the finance committee chair on the budget, which we've been kind of communicating and doing that semi-regularly. So I will have at least the department budgets and as much as I can, the books and stuff together to you guys. They'll be done by the end of January. So the start of February, you guys will at least have an idea. We're waiting on the numbers from the state, so I'm hoping to get that at my MMA conference at the end of the month, as well as our Maya health insurance numbers. I'm also working with another property and casualty insurance company that will do like our workers' comp, our injured on duty, and property insurance. So that number's gonna fluctuate less. So there's just a couple things, like there's a few things that are just.
So do you think by our first meeting in February, we'd have those books
Yeah.
to at least start poking through?
Exactly, yes.
Cool, perfect.
Nothing from the school yet.
No.
No.
We were on a meeting with them and we still don't have a number. I attended a CDBG progress meeting with the town accountant and CMRPC. The RFP for the Highland Terrace project has been published. I just talked about attending a budget meeting with the school department. Today I joined a grant webinar with Mass DOT to see, they talked about a ton of grants that we may be eligible for. We hired a new working foreman. So started kind of contract discussions with employees that have contracts that expire at the end of the fiscal year. We will have 6. So those conversations have happened, again, as putting the budget together, just to kind of give you a heads up of where we are.
When will we start meeting in executive session?
Our next board meeting.
Okay,
I'm hoping to have an executive session.
okay, beforehand? Yeah,
Yes, with you guys to get your priorities and everything, but
perfect, thank you.
I just don't want to wait to the last minute, and I'm
No.
trying to stagger them.
Yeah,
So they're not like one after the other. I attended the Holiday Massachusetts Managers Association meeting on ethics. We had a monthly department head meeting. I met with the animal control officer. There were things that were brought up in that conversation that definitely need to be addressed, like finding a kennel and a contract with a kennel, because right now we don't have one. So
We're
she's
gonna
using her house, she's using
maybe
her
ask
car.
Barry
Yeah.
what they do, right?
I was interviewed on the radio again. I want to recognize Lieutenant Kevin Landine. He has worked with our legislators in the 10 communities that are part of our dispatch, and he was just able to, he just received $150,000 of a $3.5 million project, so we will be able to get some radios and stuff that are on the same frequency as all the surrounding towns. So he's been working on that for a while,
Probably buy 3 radios.
I know.
if that. So we are having a manager's training for department heads and assistant department heads on February 11th from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Anyone that has staff, it's mandatory for them to attend, but any department head is welcome to come.
Oh, good.
But just some positive management techniques in dealing with difficult situations. We have a special town election being held at the Hardwick Elementary School from 12 to 6 on Saturday, January 18th. And then something else came in after the fact. There's going to be a blood drive at Quabbin Regional Middle High School, February 27th from 10 to 4 in the high school gym. Of course you can.
Backing up to contract negotiations.
Yeah.
Do you want someone from FinCom to be present when it's the board in executive session,
That'd be nice.
talking about that?
Yeah.
I mean, it affects the budget.
So on the 27th, you're going to be here anyways for
personnel.
committee. Do you want to come to the meeting?
Sure.
Okay,
Thank you.
yeah.
And that's really all that I have right now, although I might think of other things that come up.
Selectmen round table? Select board round table? Something?
Well, we kind of covered it, the Saturday election,
Yep.
from noon to 6 for the fire truck.
Yep,
I know there's been talk and people think, the price is kind of high, but at the same time, this is an opportunity. The truck exists right now, and if we don't take this opportunity, and we say, no, that truck is gonna go somewhere else, and it's gonna be gone, and you're talking replacement-wise, you place an order for a fire truck today, it's minimum 2 years, possibly 3, before you have a fire truck. Just to keep,
it's a lot more money.
and it's gonna probably be in the range of $1.2 million to $1.3 million for the exact same vehicle. Just wanted to put it out to the community, so you think long and hard. I know it's a tough vote, but think long and hard and please show up and vote.
Can I ask a question right now? On that, I had heard a little chatter about, a number of the hydrants not actively working, which I see that 2 are going to be, which I think is great news. So there was a bit of chatter about what's the point of having a new fire truck if we don't have working hydrants. So I'm wondering, is there a strategy for getting the other hydrants up and working? Are we actively tracking down money for that right now?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So some of that $50,000 that do you mind if I?
No,
talk?
go ahead.
Okay, some of that $50,000 that I was talking about for this building, I'm gonna use some of that to fix that one. And so I am actively, we are looking for.
Okay, so
So
that
there
would give, so how many hydrants are we looking to fix? 6?
Yeah, so
Okay.
3 will be done.
So 3 will be done.
Yeah.
Okay, so that seems reasonable. And this is a slight deviation, but I had heard a figure thrown around that it costs $20,000 a year to send a student to our Hardwick school. Is that accurate?
That's a rounded up number.
Yeah,
It's
from the
more like
school.
18, you'd have to look, we could get that number, but it's around either 18 or 19.
Why
Based
is
on
that
because
costing
it's-
so much?
It's all based, do you want me to answer this?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's a number that the state, the Department of
Yeah.
Education actually designates based on the entire budget versus students.
We pay half of that,
Yeah.
and the state pays half of that.
Right,
Okay.
And it's based off of the Quabbin Regional budget that they put together
Yeah.
for the school district, and based on enrollment and per town, it's broken up, what town, what percentage they pay and contribute, and it's an,
it's
At
just
the end of
it's
the
a
day-
value that they put on
Yeah.
the cost to educate a child.
right.
So our cost is half of that?
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a pretty big number.
It's a pretty big number. It seems like, just from what I've been hearing, it's quite a bit of the town budget
It is.
running the
It's-
school.
it's
Oh,
half.
the school budget is half of our overall
Yeah.
budget, yeah. It's a big number.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else? We good?
I just have one thing for the board to sign, so
Okay.
we can send all of our liquor license applications and everything to the state. I just need your signature.
Yeah.
Your signatures.
We're still around table.
Oh, sorry.
We are, yes.
Just want to thank everybody in the room, all the work. Good. Thanks. That's it. You want me to use my real name?
That'd be helpful.
Kelly, can I just ask, what's the RFP for the Highland Terrace project? What's that about?
Road repairs to Highland Terrace.
I think they do something with the sewer, too.
Yes,
I think there is a little bit of sewer work up there too.
there definitely
Yeah.
is part of the project.
It's been ongoing for,
Was the November 25th, was that when the contract was voted for the auction, and you said your vote was not recorded correctly?
correct.
So you voted no?
I voted not to table it.
It was,
Yeah, well, it was voted to table.
It was, the vote on the floor was from someone. The motion was to table the auction, like, in other words, put it on hold. I voted no.
But now it's being reconsidered, it sounds like, the contract?
No.
it's probably,
What?
it's probably further away than.
So initially, we voted to move forward with the contract and we signed it.
Right, but now, you made several references to town council. I'm assuming the town has a lawyer who's looked at this. I mean, I kind of had to agree with what Liz was saying, that,
Yeah.
you can't agree to a contract where you have no minimum bid, and there's a lot of problems with it, and I'm just kind of still what?
None of that is that wasn't part of the contract with
Yeah.
CMRPC. This was a CMRPC contract.
Okay, so, but this business of the auctioneer getting some money, that sounds not right. If, you know, it's 4 months away and, I mean, you just referenced earlier we're gonna owe them some money. I don't know who you're referring to.
That we may, if they've incurred costs, like they had already bought signs.
Oh, they just posted some pictures on the
So-
website. I mean, you mean for the auction?
Correct.
Okay, but it's de minimis, right? It's not like a,
No, correct.
okay, good.
Yes, yes. Do I have a motion?
A motion to adjourn?
I'll second it.
Thank you.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you guys.